Go.
I am so tired of you acting like you speak for the people of the state of Indiana or the city of Indianapolis. You do not speak for me or anyone I know. Now listen, you two jerks. Jerks on the right.
Good morning, everybody. We have a fill-in jerk on the right with us today, Chad Benson of the Chad Benson Show, filling in for Daisy once again as she's being single mom today. Essentially, she's got a patient at home and her husband that she's got to take care of. Plus, she's got to drive all over the place. So there's not enough daisies to go around today. So we've got Chad filling in for us once again. Really appreciate you being here, Chad. Thank you.
I love being here, Friday? By the way. I love it. Your audience is awesome. You know?
They really are.
Yeah, your audience is amazing. They're super friendly, and oh my God, what happened to us? There we go. I'm back. Oh my God, you see me freeze? Your audience is awesome, and they're super amazing. They follow me on YouTube and stuff like that, and it's been great. And when I went out, we were in Phoenix, and we met them. They were so awesome. So I love.
Oh my gosh, I know that was such a good meet and greet that we had out there in Phoenix. It was so much fun, and it was great to have you there. That was a super treat to get to meet you in person. So we really enjoyed that. Today's show, I tell Daisy this all the time. I used to be really, really good at gauging how long each show would be each day. And I've just gotten really bad at it after the holidays. I just lost my touch. So I don't know. Today could be kind of on the short side because it's Friday and everybody wants to get their weekend started, or it could be a regular size show. We just don't know. We're going to see. We're going to find out together. But what we're going to be talking about today is Trump's virtual appearance at the World Economic Forum in Davos, because that was lit. He basically just showed the world who's in charge right now. So we'll have some highlights from that. We've also got a really fun to watch clip of Marjorie. Go ahead. Go ahead. Are you frozen?
I was going to say, he's doing everything he said he was going to do. And it was funny watching all of their reactions afterward.
Oh my gosh. Right. I mean, it's just such a treat to see all of this act. It's like there's so much happening. He's doing so many things so quickly that the media and his naysayers and his detractors cannot even keep up. They're so mad at so many things.
I love it.
I love it too. We got Marjorie Taylor Greene telling off a reporter, which is fantastic. And we've got a lot about the ICE raids that are already underway. So there's lots of stuff going on.
You think they roll in with that? ICE,
right? They should totally use that. Oh my gosh. They should use it. They should be reporting on all the raids regularly and leading with that song. This is brilliant. That is brilliant. Good on you, Chad.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Before we get started on all of the news, we have to mention our fantastic sponsor, Readywise. So if you are feeling good about all the stuff that Trump is doing, I don't blame you. It's awesome. But that shouldn't mean that you're just sort of resting on your laurels and thinking that everything is going to be fine forevermore. Because as we know from this world, it's super crazy. Disaster can strike at any moment, and you want to be prepared for that. So make it part of your New Year's resolution to visit readywise.com and get yourself some meal kits, some emergency meal kits that you can have on hand and know that they're there. It's just really good peace of mind. Plus, they've got these cool ones where they're self-heating. You only need to add water, and it's like this magic kit that like cooks the meal with just some water, and then you've got it on hand. And the best part, or I guess the worst part in my case, is that I'm not very good at storing their emergency food because it tastes so good that I just want it when it's not an emergency. So that can be tricky, but you can have it all on hand. You can do different kits. You can do like a 2-month kit. You can do a 1-month kit. You can do a year-long kit. Whatever you want to have prepared for you and your family, you can have it on hand. Visit readywise.com. Use promo code CHICKS20, CHICKS20 at checkout. You'll get 20% off of your entire order. Preparedness really is a gift of peace of mind. Readywise.com. Check it out. You will love them. You will love all of their food. You ready to talk some news?
The zombie apocalypse. The zombie apocalypse as a just-in-case meals.
I feel like you're on a delay. Like you're super delayed today.
I know. I feel like you're super delayed too.
Really? I don't know why that is. Well, we'll just kind of struggle through it together.
Is it the weird weather?
Are you having weird weather? Because I'm not.
Well, I mean, we've had the polar vortex freeze.
Yeah. I mean, it's cold, but it's not like, there's no wind or weirdness. So
Well,
I
you
don't
know
know.
this, though. I mean, places like where we live, it's mostly warm. We're not set up for cold.
No, and I'm not enjoying this at all. I'm not enjoying that there's still snow on the ground from Tuesday that will not melt because the temperatures will not go up. Except today, I think it's going to be in the 40s, so we should get some slushy stuff. We should be okay, but like not happy. Not happy about it. It was pretty for the day, and I thought, oh, it'll just melt by the afternoon. No, it's not. It's not melting. Okay, so anyway, let's get to some stuff. First of all, I wanted to just give a shout out to one of our most loyal audience members, and that is Pastor Shelley. She is going through a time right now where she's got family members who are not well. She's got a sister in hospice right now. And I just wanted to make sure that everyone out there is praying for Pastor Shelley because she is the Chicks on the Right official pastor, and we love her and we're thinking about her. So shout out to Pastor Shelley. Finally, yesterday,
prayers for her because she's not like that.
Thank you.
Subaru driving pastor the other day.
No, she's not at all like that at all. Finally, yesterday, we did get another confirmation of another one of Trump's appointees. John Ratcliffe was confirmed by the Senate to be the CIA director. And this person tweeted out, those 51 intelligence officers who lied about the Hunter Biden laptop are in big trouble. Do you think that they are?
I don't think they're in big trouble, but they're going to lose their clearances and stuff. I don't think they're going to get arrested or anything like that, but they're definitely going to lose their clearances, as they should, because when you think about it, everybody, well, they all lie. Well, the difference was they lied to influence an election. They didn't lie because they were spies.
That's exactly right. And I think their security clearances, I think Trump did that already. Like he already revoked all their security clearances. Yeah. And so I don't know. I mean, maybe there's wishful thinking on the part of this person who's saying these guys are going to be in more trouble. I don't know. I don't know what more trouble they'll be in. I'm just glad that it's a big deal. Like you mentioned the other day, to lose your security clearance. It means millions of dollars, as you said. So I'm happy with that.
Well, I mean, here's my thing. This is my thing about for a lot of people out there who want Trump to go on this revenge tour. You can't move forward if you're always looking backwards. If stuff comes out in the wash, that's great. If you spend your entire time trying to go after people, that isn't going to move you forward. And you still have a midterm coming up that you have to win.
That's exactly right. And it comes up way faster than anybody is ever ready for. Doesn't it feel like that? It just happens so fast. And people are already thinking about campaigning for 2026. Like it's out. It's just a constant campaign cycle because everything goes so quickly. So Trump's got his work cut out for him. And he's already doing all the things, which is exciting. I think like he's not slowing down. This is a man who sleeps like 2 hours a night at the most. I swear. I don't know how he keeps up the pace. I do not get it.
Well, he goes. I love it. That's me. I don't, I went to bed at 10:30, 11 last night. I was up at 2.
Oh my gosh.
I do my stuff.
2?
Go. Yeah, I don't truth or tweet that early because I know that would be irresponsible. But in saying that, he is doing all the things he's supposed to do. But, back to the midterms, I don't think people realize you've got 6 months to maybe a year to get the ship righted. You're going to defend more seats in the Senate that are precarious, and the House. It's not like you've got a 15 seat lead. You don't. It's razor thin. So if you were to lose one or both of those, not only you're already a lame duck, you're also now a lame duck with the Democrats potentially coming for you again.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much on the line, so much that has to get done. And I understand that Trump is super frustrated about all these delay tactics that the Senate Democrats are engaging in right now to try to avoid confirming all of the appointees that he wants confirmed. So it sounds like by tonight, Pete Hegseth's vote will take place. And I had thought earlier in the week, we'd seen rumors that RFK Jr.'s confirmation hearings were going to start this week. Now it's looking like next Thursday, the 30th, is the date that Kash Patel, Tulsi Gabbard, and RFK Jr.'s confirmation hearings are going to take place. So we've still got a ways to wait, but it does seem that Pete is set for a confirmation vote tonight. Now, whether or not JD Vance is going to have to break a tie vote, that remains to be seen, but he's definitely not going to get a whole lot of support from Democrats. Elizabeth Warren put out this video yesterday because she's just an idiotic harpie who believes all of the nonsense accusations that people are spewing against him. Here's Elizabeth Warren yesterday.
The Senate just received another report that Pete Hegseth has problems with alcohol and abuse that disqualify him to be Secretary of Defense. Look, today we got a sworn statement under penalty of perjury from his former sister-in-law saying that he was erratic, threatening, and caused his then wife to fear for her safety. For crying out loud, he could be the Secretary of Defense, the guy in charge of our entire military. This isn't about politics. This is a matter of national security.
Is he the one that has a drinking problem, though? Like, is it him or is it her?
It is. I didn't see the video. I got her smoke signals, though. I saw those. Those came out, and I said, "Oh, okay, thank you, Liawatha." But the reality is, the lady that accused him is the ex-sister-in-law, if I'm correct.
Correct.
The wife's all, none of that stuff happened. So
right.
So wait a minute here.
Who's
well, I take Liawatha.
Right. I mean, it's just so ridiculous. So, and I guess the ex-wife is like lawyering up and getting ready to fight all of this nonsense because she keeps getting put in this position. She's constantly getting harassed by reporters. It's all ridiculous. She has said this did not happen. That should be the end of the story. I mean, enough is enough.
Yeah.
So
enough is enough.
Enough is enough. And I'm glad that the vote is finally going to take place. Also, I want to make sure I've got my cursor in the right spot. We talked yesterday about the layoffs that took place at CNN. There was like 200 people laid off, and Jim Acosta's show was moved from a prime morning spot at 10 a.m. And to be fair to Jim Acosta, I mean, his show was better rated than a lot of the other shows on CNN, but they moved him to midnight and tried to say, there, Jim Acosta, it's still prime time on the Pacific Coast. And so now there are rumors, whoops, that's the wrong thing. There are rumors that Jim Acosta may exit because he is not happy with this new potential time slot.
Look, I understand why he's not happy, but Jim, you're working, right? If it wasn't for Trump and the fights that you have, what do you expect? The fact that anybody's on air, they could just run commercials and they'd probably get better ratings at the rate they're going. And so you're on at midnight. You still have a job.
Right? But I'm fine if he leaves. If he goes and tries to do like his own thing, like Jennifer Rubin did with Norm, what's his face? Like when they left the Washington Post, I don't know if that's a thing that anybody's paying attention to. Yeah. I mean, they're awful. I don't think anybody's paying attention to that. I can't imagine Jim Acosta going and starting his own platform or his own podcast or his own whatever. I don't think that that's going to go over very well.
No. And part of that, it's funny because you have to be likable, right? So if you go start your own thing, even if you're on the left or the right, if you're likable, you'll get people to come in. You can have real conversations. You have to have some likability. There's no likability with this guy. And if you don't have that likability, you're not going to be able to draw an audience because you're not Simon Cowell, who's a dick but funny. You're just awful.
Oh my gosh. I know. I cannot wait to see what he does. It's going to be interesting. Now, back to all of the things that Trump is doing. Things are happening, and some people are not happy with some of his decisions. A judge temporarily blocked Trump's order to end birthright citizenship. This was an executive order that he signed the other day. This was Judge, I don't even know how to say his name. He was a Reagan appointee. Judge Kaufnauer said, quote, "I've been on the bench for over 4 decades. I can't remember another case where the question presented is as clear as this one. This is a blatantly unconstitutional order." And I don't know if it was a good idea for this to go to the courts immediately, because now it is going to go to the Supreme Court. This is entirely likely to go to the Supreme Court, where it might actually go in Trump's favor. Whereas if they would have just kind of sat on this for 4 years and dealt with it for 4 years, then maybe they could have just undone Trump's executive order if a Democrat takes the next White House.
It's going to be interesting. The whole thought of, and this is another one of those things where it's not been really answered. The case that it was based on, from the 1800s, the last case that was kind of brought up, I think it was Wang, I think it was. And I look at this. The thing is, it's the undoing of it through an executive order that is a worry for me. Our founding fathers set this thing up so everything would be hard because they wanted everybody on the same page if you could do something big. I don't know how this is going to go. If I'm them, I go in a different direction. If I'm the Republicans and I do this, you start putting limits on what the anchor baby, as they like to call it, will be able to do to sponsor. And that being, you have to be 15 years or older, because you have to be in the country, even if you're an American, for 15 years before you can run for president. So if you're 15 years or older to sponsor your parents, well, if you're born here and they kick your parents out, you're going to go with them. So you can't sponsor them. Do something like that, because I think if this gets before the court, and I could be wrong, I have a feeling they're going to shoot it down rather quickly.
Really? Like the Supreme Court too? You think the Supreme Court would shut it down? Can you not hear me?
Yeah, I just think the Supreme Court would. I mean, I can hear you.
Okay. It's real delayed.
I'm putting stuff in my mind. Can you not hear me?
No, I can hear you fine. It's just there's a huge delay.
I know it is. It's because of different words. It's kind of bizarre. No, I think the Supreme Court will hear it. And remember, Roberts is a big protector of the Supreme Court's past. But I think that this executive order will be shot down, and they'll have to figure out, do we try to do a constitutional convention? That's never going to happen. And we're never going to get, 2/3 of Congress and the Senate to ever agree on anything. So alas, let's put other things in place that make it difficult.
Yeah, I agree. This is going to be, it's absolutely going to go to the Supreme Court. Like there's no way that it won't. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all pans out. A lot of people that are posting about it, interestingly, on the Democrat side, they love to quote the part of the amendment that talks about this, saying that if you're born in the United States, you're an automatic citizen, but they always leave out that little phrase that talks about if you're subject to the jurisdiction thereof of the United States, which is the phrase in the amendment that gives a lot of people pause and that raises all the questions. And so that's, I think, what people are kind of anxious for this to go to the Supreme Court about, because they want to see, well, what does that mean once and for all? And how is this going to pan out? And we'll see what the Supreme Court does.
Well, it's about time. Like a lot of things, let's put these things to bed because they haven't been asked, like the immunity for presidents who do something, because, that's not that they can do anything they ever want to do, but that question was never really asked because they do some stuff that, like, bomb an American citizen without due process in another place. That should be answered for. This is the same kind of thing. Let's put it to bed once and for all.
Yeah. Agreed. I wanted to share, because we always talk about our friends at healthycell.com, and this is the best product. And winter, especially, everybody suffers from dry skin, dry hair in the wintertime. And you're probably taking a multivitamin, but this specifically from Healthycell, this amazing gel pack, which tastes delicious, helps you have vibrant skin, hair, and nails. That's why it's called vibrant hair, skin, and nails. And so Daisy and I have been using this now for, gosh, I want to say like almost 2 years probably. And we've noticed a difference. She has noticed a difference. I've noticed a difference in just how fast everything grows. It's amazing. And this stuff absorbs into your system 165% better than a pill capsule or tablet would. And we got an amazing testimonial the other day from one of our audience members, Sarah Terrell, who said, thanks to you, I use several Healthycell products, including Bioactive Multi, hair, skin, and nails, and joint and mobility. Recently tried the REM sleep, and look at the results. And she sent a graph from her like sleep tracker, which I'll show in a second. She said, I always had interrupted sleep before using REM sleep and now have almost no awake and restless minutes. It's amazing and I'm grateful. P.S. Daisy, I love your hair and have taken a screenshot of you to my stylist for inspiration. I know what it's like to have both fine and thin hair, and yours looks great. I'm excited to see improvement in my hair once I've been using Healthycell for as long as you have. Keep up the good work, fabulous ladies. I've been listening to you for years and never want to miss your show. All the best to you and yours. And so she also sent this graph, which is pretty amazing, where she shows how up and down and restless her sleep was before she tried the REM sleep, and after, it's just like flatline, like she's sleeping so soundly. So it's absolutely incredible. All of their products are incredible. You can go to healthycell.com/chicks and use promo code chicks to get 20% off of your first order. That's healthycell.com/chicks. Now then, let's go back to some news. And that is, this is kind of some fun stuff that I'd noticed from JD Vance the other day. He had posted this tweet. Let me see if I can get to it. My cursor is really fluky today. He said, my kids are settling into the vice president's official residence, and I just want to say thank you to the American people. While we don't own this property, it is a beautiful home for our 3 little kids. We're grateful and we'll take good care of it. And one of the things that Daisy and I have noticed about JD Vance, I mean, obviously, if you know his background, it's a remarkable story of coming up from nothing into now being the vice president of the country, like the most amazing American dream story. And now he's so relatable. I think that's what most people are starting to find about him, is that he's dad of young kids. He's relatable to so many of us for so many reasons. And now there's people that we are hearing from who have a newfound appreciation for him and for their own service in the Marine Corps, like this guy. Take a listen.
Well, Donald Trump is now the president of the United States of America, along with his vice president, JD Vance. Well, what does this mean for the military? What does this mean for service members? I will tell you this. There has never been a time more so than now where I have been proud to serve this country. I've been in the United States Marine Corps for 14 years. And throughout that time, I have served under 3 presidents. And I am very optimistic about all the opportunities that are going to come, not only to service members, but also to Americans as a whole. The fact that our Vice President of the United States of America, himself, was an active duty United States Marine brings me a lot of pride as well. So, as we open this next chapter for our country, I encourage anybody who has been considering military service to take that leap, to go for it, to give it everything you got, to go find out what is available to you and what is available for you. Good luck to you.
I love that.
That was so cool. That was
Isn't
so cool.
it?
You know, my wife was talking about Vance last night. She says his kids at the inauguration, messing with his hair, running around, being kids, was everything. Because if you've got young kids, you've had young kids, you know what it's like, right? You're at some places and sometimes you just got to go. They're going to do what they do and just let them be, and we'll just ignore it. And they became little mini stars. And I said, that right there is what humanizes him to the average person who goes, oh yeah, I know what that's like. Man, remember that time that kid, we were in church and the kid did this? that was so relatable.
Yes, absolutely. Exactly that. And he's actually, because of the movie, perhaps, or because of the book, Hillbilly Elegy, which of course is the book and the movie based on his life and experiences growing up, the son of an addict and being raised by his grandmother and all of the poverty that he faced. He's now relatable to people on a level that I don't think we've ever seen of a public official in office like this. And here's another video of a great example of that, of a woman who struggles. She knows what it's like to be on the struggle bus. And for that reason, I think JD Vance is appealing to a whole new crop of people that wouldn't have been available or wouldn't have been interested in who the vice president is if not for JD. Check this out.
About JD Vance like that, but I did see the movie, and if he is really what that movie portrays, fuck yes. Hell yes. You know why? Because me and JD Vance's life are very similar. And it shows people that had to grow up on the system and had to grow up in a violent home and had to grow up with parents addicted and had to endure abuse, and all odds were stacked against them. But they still fought, survived, and flourished. It is hope to the American people. It is hope to the underdogs. And it is hope that people can overcome the things that are meant to tear them apart. And you know what? Fuck yeah. That's what our fucking country needs. JD Vance, if you are really what you say you are, I love you, bro. Fuck yeah.
What a testament, man.
So true. So true.
I just love it. Love that.
He's got a bit of, I'll say it, little trailer trash in him, little white trash in him. And that kind of thing. It say what you want. You know what? I grew up that way too. I grew up, poor white trash, government cheese, one night we had popsicles for dinner because that's all we had. I know what that's like. And it relates you to people in a way that being Trump you can't relate to that. The billions of dollars, having planes and stuff. And that's something that I think that was really missing from the Democrats, because they become so academic and so above everybody that they look down on people like that.
Yeah. And Democrats always position themselves as like the working class party, like they're there for the common man. And they have become so out of touch with regular people, and still to this day can't figure out that led to their loss. They're still repeating all the same mistakes. And I hope that they continue to, honestly, because it's good for us, but they'll just never get it. And so it's nice to have somebody like JD on our team who's showing people what they can achieve, even in the worst of circumstances. I think it's just amazing. I do see a lot of comments in here saying people are complaining about the sound, but then other people are saying just get out and then come back in and the sound gets cleared up for people. So I would say try that, because I think it's fine for us. I think a lot of people it's fine for, and that seems to be what they tried. So try that if you're having any sound glitches. Meantime, let's talk about something else that Trump signed off on yesterday that's pretty interesting. He signed an order declassifying files related to the assassinations of JFK, RFK, and MLK. So this is gonna get interesting. And as far as the timing, there's apparently 15 days for the director of the NSA and the AG to present a plan to Trump for the full and complete release of the JFK records, and 45 additional days for RFK and MLK. What do you think about that?
I'm excited. No aliens yet, but I don't know when he's going to do that. That's what I'm really excited for, when I find out what's going on to Area 51 and the aliens. I think what we're going to find out is they'll put some puzzle pieces together. The CIA and FBI with JFK. It's not going to be a great look, but I don't think they did anything, but they missed stuff. MLK is the one. because I think we're going to find out, boy, oh boy, was the FBI very complicit, and did they do some stuff and break a lot of laws in going after that guy?
Oh my gosh. Well, all of it is going to be very, very interesting. It's going to cause a lot of discussion. And aliens, you're right. I'm excited for the alien stuff too, and the drones. And I know, Trump's been asking, we need to find out what the hell is going on with these drones, because he wants the American people to know. So the last video we showed a couple days ago of him talking to Susie Wiles saying, get on that, like, go find out what that is, because somebody knows, and we're gonna make sure everybody knows. So it's very interesting. Yesterday, when he signed the order to release these files on JFK, RFK, and MLK, it was kind of cool because at the very end of the signing, he asked for the pen that he used to be given to RFK, which was a nice touch. There's video showing that moment.
Everything will be revealed. Okay.
Okay.
Give that to RFK Jr.
Yes, sir.
I think that's so cool.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, that is, it's funny because we talk about JFK, we talk about, MLK, but not so much about, Bobby. And I don't know what's in there. I don't know what they knew because, I mean, he did what he did. We all know what happened, but what was the impetus for that? What was the real? Is there other stuff that they knew? Did they know he was going to be there? Was he on the radar? Like, that's the stuff I think people are curious about. And I think what we're going to find is, boy, our agency's flawed. And here's the thing. The CIA doesn't really hide stuff because they don't have to. They're not, if you've ever watched any of the CIA people, they're told we can talk about just about anything outside of outing somebody. They don't really care if you're on a secret mission. So if you go watch CIA people, they talk. The FBI is the ones that always keep everything quiet. And I think they're the ones who are going to be super exposed.
Well, I'm excited for all of it. So excited. I thought people would enjoy just a huge flashback video of Melania Trump in an interview. It must have been like right when she first started dating Donald Trump, and maybe they had just gotten engaged, and they're asking her, is she going to miss her modeling career? Is she willing to give up everything to become the first lady? And she also addresses the accusations that I'm sure were flying back then about her being a gold digger and just in it for his money. Here is that flashback interview.
The First Lady.
Yes, I will be very traditional, like Jackie Kennedy. I will support him. I will do a lot of social obligations.
If you did become First Lady, it probably wouldn't be ethical for you to give commercial endorsements to products. So your modeling career might be over at that moment. What would you think about that?
I will stand by men.
You'd be willing to give up your modeling career?
Yes.
Have you been hurt by the comments that you're with him because he's rich?
The people, they don't know me. People who talk like this, they don't know me.
Well, you don't see many 26-year-old supermodels on the arm of 53-year-old car mechanics.
You know what? You can't sleep or to hug or to talk with beautiful things, with beautiful apartment, beautiful plane, beautiful cars, beautiful houses. You can't do that. You could feel very empty. And if somebody said, you're with a man because it's rich and famous, they don't know me.
I love her.
They don't know me.
They don't know me. They don't know me. And now they just celebrated their 20th anniversary.
That's right. Fantastic for them. I mean, not that he hasn't, maybe he had some issues. But let's be real. This is, he is who he is. We already know that. Everybody knows that. I mean, he's Donald.
He was who he was.
That's right. Well, yeah, he was who he was. But, I mean, yes, I mean, it's fair to ask the question. You're smoking hot. He's wealthy. By the way, that's the way that works. Okay. We're not full. Now, it doesn't mean you can't you guys can't mesh, but let's be honest. He's right. You don't see a lot of 53-year-old mechanics making $15 an hour with a supermodel.
I mean, it's fair. So, but people like in her supermodels are always in a position to be around like the rich and hoity-toity dudes because they're supermodels. So it kind of works out in each of their favor.
It's a
right?
win-win. Look, I'm a big fan of that. Go ahead, knock yourself out. I mean, that's the beauty of the world that we live in. They attract each other, and right. I'm good with that.
Yeah. And the other fun thing that I thought everybody would like today is you probably remember from the inauguration ball that when Melania and Donald Trump had their first dance, and then the Vances came out and they were dancing, and then they each broke apart and danced with members of the military. And so now there's been spotlights on those members of the military to ask them, well, what was that like? Because these are just like regular people, right? Like these are regular everyday folks who are serving our country, who had this unbelievable opportunity to be up close and personal with Trump, with the First Lady. And the stories about them are so cute. Look at this.
Henry Waller.
When I walked out on stage, I was trying to contain my composure, but we were told that it's not like ceremonial composure. We can smile if you want to. And I was just overwhelmed with joy being out on the stage with all these people cheering for me.
The First Lady smiled broadly as they danced. Did the First Lady say anything to you?
I asked her how her night was going. She said it was going good. She asked me how mine was. I said it was fantastic.
Is the First Lady a good dancer?
Oh yeah, she's a really good dancer.
Did you get to rehearse?
The only rehearsing I did was back home with my wife dancing with her.
Hallelujah! While Sergeant Waller danced with Mrs. Trump, President Trump took a spin with Sergeant Tatiana Saldana from the United States Space Force. Vice President JD Vance and wife Usha also switched dancing partners. The Veep was joined by Staff Sergeant Lexis Martinez of the United States Marine Corps. Were you nervous?
I was very nervous because I've never done anything like that before.
Is he a good dancer?
Better than me. Better than me. I was so nervous, I probably looked like I had 2 left feet.
Her boyfriend shot video of the priceless moments.
That's my girlfriend! That's my girlfriend!
Is that not the cutest thing you ever saw? Oh my God, I love that so much. Love it. All right, moving on, because a huge issue for the electorate in this election was the border. And Trump made a lot of promises. He obviously got Tom Homan to be border czar, which was the best pick of all time. And they've been saying well ahead of the election that as of day one, the deportations were going to start, and man, they mean business. Here's a report from Fox News from Bill Malugin about some of the ICE raids that were already taking place this very first week.
Morning, everyone.
It's a frigid 5 degrees in the pre-dawn hours just outside of Boston, where this team of elite ICE officers is briefing on their targets for the day.
We're going to be targeting some extremely violent offenders today.
Within moments, the officers are on the move, with eyes on their first target.
Looks like we got movement, target vehicle coming out.
They quickly take him into custody. He's an MS-13 gang member wanted in El Salvador for aggravated murder. And he has an Interpol red notice out for his arrest.
We are targeting very violent threats to our community.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
ICE Boston quickly takes down its next targets, including this illegal alien from Brazil who has an Interpol red notice for armed robbery. This Salvadoran illegal alien charged locally with rape and released by a sanctuary jurisdiction.
Señor, ¿cómo se llama?
And this Dominican illegal alien charged with assault with a deadly weapon and heroin trafficking. Officers also arrested this Guatemalan MS-13 gang member facing gun charges. ICE says he was released from local custody just the day before. Their detainer request was ignored because of sanctuary policies. And in a sign of shifting priorities with the new Trump administration, this man, who was in the same apartment as the target, was also arrested after ICE determined he's also in the U.S. illegally. This is what ICE calls collateral.
So you guys got your main target just now, but you got somebody else. What just happened?
So our main target was released by a sanctuary jurisdiction, not honoring a detainer. That person was released back into the community, and when we went to go find him, he's with somebody else who was previously removed from the United States. So he's going to go today too.
That's a
Gotta love
promise.
it. Promises made, promises kept.
And listen to those people. 17 convictions, rape, murder. I'm going to go on. What the hell were you people allowing to go on? And okay, again, I like to remind everybody, yes, sometimes some people will get swept up who've done nothing wrong outside of coming in this country. But for the love of God, why would you release people when they say, please hold this person? We've got an order to remove. He's wanted by Interpol. And we're like, well, based on our virtue signaling, he's wanted by nobody.
I know, it's absolutely ridiculous. And it's a dereliction of duty of any law enforcement person. And I don't care if it's a sanctuary city or state. If they are letting known murderers on the street, how is that fulfilling their oath of office? You know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And so that guy that was featured in that video from Haiti, the one that was like thanking Biden, somebody made this hilarious video.
Going back to Haiti.
Well, he's wrong. He's going back to Haiti.
I just love that. He's going back.
So funny. He's
Bye.
going back. If I want a flight, I'm not going back. You are going back. And if we have to put you in a parachute and drop you off, it's going to happen.
It's happening. It is happening. Also, remember how the other day, Trump, I'm assuming it was an executive order. I'm not sure if it was like an order, if it was just a new regulation. I don't know the exact terminology or whatever. But he said, enough of this undocumented migrant language. The official term, the correct term, and the term to be used henceforth and forthwith will be illegal alien, because that is the right term. And wouldn't you know it, Governor Ron DeSantis, always the first. He's right there making sure that a reporter does not get the terminology wrong.
WJXC News Channel 4 here in Jacksonville. I just have 4 questions. One, Florida is home to hundreds of thousands of undocumented immigrants who are working in areas.
Well, so the federal government has made clear that the statutory term, it's not they're illegal aliens. That's the statutory term, and that's what it is. And I think it's to try to water down. I mean, like, undocumented, it's like if I get in my car and I forget my wallet, okay, I don't have my document on me, like my driver's license, but I mean, I still have a right to drive. I just made a mistake. This is intentional to come in illegally. And it's not just a question of missing a document. It's a question of, you violated the law that were very clear and knowingly, and with the help of the cartels in many cases.
I just love that.
It's right. And when I hear people say undocumented immigrant, I say, no, you and I can immigrate from California to Arizona to Tennessee. We're moving. We're here. I immigrated to Britain, right? But I did it all legally. I immigrated there. You came across, you're not migrating here. You're coming into our country illegally. So
you're invading.
That's it. These are the same people that would say, you know what? This is not a drug dealer. He's an unlicensed pharmaceutical director.
Exactly. And that is so typical of the left on everything, because it's just like abortion, which they always call reproductive health care, or they talk about revenues being, incoming revenues not being taxed Americans. It's like taxpayer money. They always try to use the softer, flowery language to make things seem less awful than they actually are. And this is just another example. So I'm glad that is over with. This next clip, it runs a little longer than we normally like to have on the show, but this was a fascinating discussion between Mayor Adams and Tucker Carlson. We played a clip from that interview a couple days ago. But this part is amazing, because Mayor Adams is is the mayor of a sanctuary city. And so Tucker goes after him about that, because even though Mayor Adams, the clip that we played the other day was all about his frustration with the federal government, him being told by the Biden administration to be a good Democrat and just do all the things, spend all the money that it takes to take care of these illegals. And Tucker pushed back in this, and this part of the conversation is fascinating because it's about the validity of sanctuary cities. And Mayor Adams is trying to defend it. I think by the end, maybe Tucker gets him to see the light a little bit. Check this out.
A liberal city, but mostly because it's a sanctuary city.
Right.
Which is basically committed an act of insurrection against the federal government by ignoring federal law, kind of what the Confederates did at Fort Sumter, except even more outrageous. And so isn't there a sense in which New York kind of deserves this? It was a sanctuary city.
And many people don't really get the sanctuary city part.
Yeah, like me.
So here's what the sanctuary city states. John, who is from a country, is in New York. He goes into the store, he buys a loaf of bread. He's paying taxes on that. Right. He buys gas, he's paying taxes. Sanctuary city says that as long as you're here, you have a right to get the services your tax dollars are paying for. Your children being educated. If you need police services, you can get it. If you need medical care, you can get it. That's what sanctuary city says. And that you should not be afraid of getting those services because your tax dollars are
right.
paying for
But I
them.
mean, you could say that of anybody breaking federal law. I mean, there could be someone indicted on terror charges or a murderer on the lam.
Right.
And if New York harbors him, it's harboring a criminal. It's violating federal law. And that is a form of insurrection, right? You're saying we're not following the laws of the United States of America. So, why shouldn't Washington send troops here, immediately and make you obey, as Eisenhower did to Central High School in Little Rock in the 50s when they ignored Brown versus Board? You can't be out of compliance with federal law without getting the 101st Airborne, don't you think?
Well, my conversation with Tom, who's coming in as our border czars.
Yeah.
One place he and I totally agree on. Those who violate their rights to come here by committing crimes, they need to leave our country after they serve their time. We're on the same page with that. That immigrant family who's trying to get a pathway into becoming a citizen, living out this amazing American dream, I don't think they should be rounded up in the middle of the night and say, we're going to move you out.
Well, then why isn't it fair for the states that are, still part of the United States and are obeying federal law to send all of their illegals here? Because you guys welcome them. I mean, and you can pay for it.
No, we're not welcoming them. We've been very clear. We're not welcoming everyone. Everyone send. When we say when they're here and they're following the rules and they're paying their taxes, they're doing the things that people are supposed to do. My focus are those who are harming innocents.
But you said it was a minute ago. I mean, I get what you're saying, and I think it sounds good, but I think we just discovered why it's not good. Because it's the volume. I think probably 99% of the immigrants who are wrecking your city are great people who have good, they're not bad people.
Right.
But there are just too many of them and you can't afford it.
Right. And how do you address that?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe not be a sanctuary city. Maybe to say we're going to follow federal law like everybody else.
If you just explain the stupidity of these ideas, I don't know how you argue that. At the end, I don't know how he came back from that at the end of that Tucker clip. You can't take care of all these people. So how about just follow the law?
The funny thing is, it's they know they can't do these things. The problem was for Texas and Arizona, which was you have them all. They come here and they kind of spread out and go certain places, but they're kind of staying mostly on the Southwest and West Coast. The minute it landed in their doors, they were at first, they're oh, this is great. We'll show you. Next thing you know, oh my God, we can't handle this. And they really need to be honest and go, all right, what is the number where we can still look like we're a sanctuary city, but at the same time, we don't go broke?
Right. And there is no number. That's the whole point. There's not an okay number. The okay number is 0 because they're not supposed to be here. And so now what we're going to see ad nauseum is going to be all these, heartstring pulling photos of people that got their appointments canceled on the CBP One app, or they've gotten They're getting deported even though they were just here to make a better life for themselves. Do it the right freaking way. This is not hard. Stop invading the border. This is just like, I can't understand why this is complicated.
And you know what I tell, because growing up in Southern California, I had friends that we played soccer with, that they weren't here legally. By the way, they weren't all Mexicans. No, a couple of my buddies that I knew, they were British. They weren't here legally. They had businesses, they had families, the whole 9 yards. But, all of them said the same thing. They knew the risk, and they know the risk. They know there could be a knock one day at the door. They understand that. They don't worry about it as much as the left likes to make you think, but they know the risk.
And they should. And actually there should be action on the risk. And that's what's happening now, is that Trump is actually taking action. So enough is enough. And I'm just super grateful to see it, because it's about frickin' time. Speaking of Trump, he had himself a day by joining DAVOS, the World Economic Forum, which, as I said to Daisy yesterday, it feels like that happens nonstop. Like there's always a Davos World Economic Forum happening. It's just always active. It just never seems like they take a break.
G9, G12, G42.
Yeah.
They're always on some stage in Switzerland with some blue panel behind them and like a globe.
Yes, it is constant. And they're always flying their giant private jets to lecture all of us about climate change. So Trump joined virtually, and he gave a speech. It was about 15, 16 minutes long, I think. Just have a few highlights. One of the things that he talked about was he was basically he was inviting all of these other European businesses to come and play and make stuff in America. And he was warning them what would happen if they don't. And this was showing who's boss. Here's the first clip.
I have promised to eliminate 10 old regulations for every new regulation, which will soon put many thousands of dollars back in the pockets of American families. To further unleash our economy, our majorities in the House and Senate, which we also took along with the presidency, are going to pass the largest tax cut in American history, including massive tax cuts for workers and family, and big tax cuts for domestic producers and manufacturers. And we're working with the Democrats on getting an extension of the original Trump tax cuts, as you probably know, by just reading any paper. My message to every business in the world is very simple. Come make your product in America, and we will give you among the lowest taxes of any nation on earth. But if you don't make your product in America, which is your prerogative, then very simply you will have to pay a tariff, differing amounts, but a tariff which will direct hundreds of billions of dollars and even trillions of dollars into our treasury to strengthen our economy and pay down debt.
Love it.
It's interesting. I mean, people are afraid of tariffs. They're used as these are negotiation points. This is the way I look at tariffs. If we don't make it, we don't tariff it. It's that simple. We don't make it, we don't tariff it. If we do make it and they don't allow us to sell in their country and they tariff us, then we tariff the hell out of them. It's not a hard thing to do. And yes, people need to realize that the stuff that we may tariff, who pays for it is the importer, who then passes that on to the person that is going to sell it. And then those people pass that on to you. So prices in some cases may go up, but it's also happening on the other side of the world for them. And so what ends up happening is that's when the negotiation starts, and that's when things start to happen. But you've got to be willing to accept a little discomfort in certain situations. And as Americans, we're not really good at that.
It is all part of the art of the deal. And so it's just like you said, it's a negotiating tool. And I think that was pitch perfect, the way that he presented that. Look, there's huge benefits to coming and doing business in America, to making your products in America. We're going to give you low tax rates, and you can decide not to do that. Here's what's going to happen. And I just love that. He has absolutely zero filter. And that was evident too when he was talking directly to some of the bank leaders. He actually made a very pointed comment to Bank of America, who has had instances in the past where they have deplatformed, debanked conservatives simply for having conservative views. And he let them know that he is onto them.
Speaking of you, and you've done a fantastic job, but I hope you start opening your bank to conservatives, because many conservatives complain that the banks are not allowing them to do business within the bank. And that included a place called Bank of America. They don't take conservative business. And I don't know if the regulators mandated that because of Biden or what, but you and Jamie and everybody, I hope you're going to open your banks to conservatives because what you're doing is wrong.
How many people got, not only deplatformed, but you took away their earning. You took away their way to bank. You took away their way to get loans and to keep their businesses afloat, to pay for things. I mean, that's very China-esque. They've got that app. I'm frozen.
Come back. Is it me?
Maybe you're frozen. You were frozen too.
Was I frozen?
I was we were both frozen. But I was just saying that, this insanity of the way that they've handled this banking, we saw it in Canada as well. That's what China does. They've got that app that can freeze you out of everything with one flick of a switch.
It's so terrifying. And so I'm glad he called it out. I know Bank of America afterwards, they were doing all kinds of damage control and they were like, what? We don't do that. And so the Trump War Room Twitter account started reposting all these headlines of all the different conservatives that it happened to and plenty of evidence. And so they can't deny it. They just need to do better. Trump also spoke about getting investments from Saudi Arabia, and he's already got a promise of $600 billion, but he's hoping for a little bit more.
That Saudi Arabia will be investing at least $600 billion in America, but I'll be asking the Crown Prince, who's a fantastic guy, to round it out to around $1 trillion. I think they'll do that because we've been very good to them.
We're just going to round that up to $1 trillion.
He's a fantastic guy. I know some of you are still mad because he had that guy turned into a slushie, and that sucks. But it's a big picture thing. You guys still thinking about that? Don't think about that. Think about all the other good things that are going on. It's a great guy, pal, friend of mine.
It's all part of the art of the deal. Again,
it is.
It's all the art of the deal.
You know what? There are people out there that we have to do business with that live in a different world and handle things differently that we don't like, but we have to do business with them. Right. And they don't like some of the stuff we do, and they have to do business with us. And we'd all like to live in utopia, but we don't.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Trump also talked, and this was important, an important point that he made. He talked about how now that the Trump administration is in office, no more censorship by the government of its citizens. Freedom is back. Here's what he said about that.
In addition, I'm pleased to report that America is also a free nation once again. On day one, I signed an executive order to stop all government censorship. No longer will our government label the speech of our own citizens as misinformation or disinformation, which are the favorite words of censors and those who wish to stop the free exchange of ideas and, frankly, progress. We have saved free speech in America, and we've saved it strongly.
Strongly. It's been strongly saved.
It's like the most bestest thing I have done since I've been here.
I mean, it kind of is. Between him and Elon, it's fantastic.
I love it. And I saw that the Prime Minister of Spain's talking about, if a restaurant serves food that makes their people sick, that restaurant has to pay. And I'm like, that's not the way that works. When you're trying to play it up against the social media stuff as he compares it, and I'm thinking, yeah, no, that's not the way it works. I've offered you the opportunity to have food, but you guys poison the food for each other. That's not, I just gave you the platform to come and eat, and you guys poison each other's food. It's up to you to decide which food you want to eat.
It's a good analogy. Very good analogy. What I loved most, I think, about his whole virtual appearance at Davos was that he knows he's speaking to an audience filled with climate change alarmists. These are the people that are the most rabid about doing all kinds of nothing, stapling all the money to the clouds, as Daisy would say, to fight climate change. And here's what he said about his administration getting rid of the whole Green New Deal.
The ridiculous and incredibly wasteful Green New Deal, I call it the Green New Scam, withdrew from the one-sided Paris Climate Accord and ended the insane and costly electric vehicle mandate. We're going to let people buy the car they want to buy.
Yeah, he is. Love that. He said it
Absolutely.
right to them.
Absolutely.
So good. Glenn Beck had a nice summary of how his appearance went. He said President Trump's Davos speech made it very clear to the WEF the United States is done with all the woke nonsense. Merit is back. Drilling is back. Common sense is back. America is back. Get used to it.
I love it.
Oh, damn. I love that. Love it. Love it. Love it.
There's definitely a change and some nervousness over there. And the way
Yeah.
that they came out, and like, well, we're not scared of you. He doesn't want you to be scared of him. He wants you to be his partner. But if that doesn't work, then yeah, fear will work.
It's just such a huge change from how pathetic and weak Biden was on every front, by every measure. He had absolutely no standing. So he loved to say that he had better relationships with foreign nations than anybody else, his foreign policy expert. Everybody just thought he was useless. They were nice to him and kind to him because he was an old, demented man. And now there's a leader in charge.
They can take advantage of him.
Exactly
being
right.
nice to you because you're an old, doddering fool who is just like Obama, who pontificates, who loves to think that they can talk their way out of everything and just have a conversation. And sometimes, absolutely, you should start there. But you never got to the negotiation part. You always got to the pontification part. You made great statements, and then you gave into everything.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he has absolutely no balls. That's the plainest way to say it. He had no balls, and now we have a leader back in charge that has them.
Truck nuts.
Trump nuts. Exactly. So when he was back in the Oval signing off, like on the JFK classified document thing, when he was signing more executive orders, one of the reporters that was there asked him about this rift that we talked about yesterday between Elon Musk and Sam Altman, who is the guy that's going to be part of Stargate, which is a Trump initiative that everybody's talking about, that he's a lot of investment in. And Elon and Sam Altman, as we discussed yesterday, hate each other.
Yeah.
And so that puts Trump in the middle of, some conflict. So a reporter asked him about that, and here is how Trump responded.
We should make a deal.
Mr. President, does it bother you that Elon Musk criticized a deal that you made publicly, that he said that he tweeted that?
No, it doesn't. He hates one of the people in the deals.
Have you spoken to him since then?
No, I've spoken to Elon, but I've spoken to all of them, actually. No, the people in the deal are very, very smart people. But Elon, one of the people he happens to hate, but I have certain hatreds of people too.
That's like the perfect answer. I hate plenty of people too. It's fine.
It is. Yeah, there's no doubt. But you know what? It's business. And Elon has his AI. He has his vision. And that's also business. And in Elon, as we know, much like, Trump, at some point in time, the two are going to clash because egos that big can't get in a room and not eventually run into one another. But I like the fact that he's like, he's just honest. Yeah, he hates him. There you go. I don't know what you want me to say. He hates him and he doesn't like him. And I think they were right in front of me. They'd probably start throwing down right now.
I just love that because he's just like, listen, he can hate who he wants. I hate people too. It's fine. It's all fine.
It is.
Reporters also asked,
it's not manufactured BS where he tries to talk. Well, they've got to just, they see things differently in certain ways.
Yeah.
And he's like, they hate each other. Let's just move on.
Right. Exactly. So he was also asked about interest rates and whether or not the Fed is going to listen to his advice or his opinion about interest rates. And the way that he answered this question was an absolute delight. Look at this.
Sir. The interest rates will come down.
You said that you would demand that the interest rates come down.
Well, I would.
Do you expect
I would put in a strong statement.
Do you expect the Fed to listen to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the best? I just love how he's like, yeah. I think they'll listen.
So that's
great.
Yeah. For those of you guys don't understand, the Fed is one of those things that truly operates completely autonomously on its own and not listening to anybody. But he seems like, yeah, they probably will. I'm not saying they won't, but I'm not saying that they, they'll probably. Maybe kind of could happen. I don't know.
Well, and then in other Trump effect news, this was a report from Martha McCallum midday yesterday about the war between Russia and Ukraine. Things are starting to get real interesting. Listen to this.
That President Trump wants to meet immediately with Vladimir Putin, and that President Zelensky has told President Trump that he is ready to make a deal to end the war. So obviously a very big development on that front, and we'll play it out for you as soon as we get it. A number of other items crossing the wires and making news that we're going to bring you when we get that.
I mean, things are happening, man. Things are happening.
Have you ever watched Lex Friedman?
I love him.
So he was on with Rogan because he did a big thing with Zelensky. And he said with Rogan, he said, here's the thing with Zelensky and with Putin. They're both scared shitless because of Trump. Because they don't know what he's going to do. And he says, quite frankly, at times, I'm sure Trump doesn't know what he's going to do, but they're both scared and have a fear of him. And that's a good thing, right?
It's a great thing.
Little unpredictability. And I think both sides want to get something done. You've done a great job, Zelensky. I mean, people can have a disdain for them all they want, but the reality is think about the people that are fighting over there. Think about what happened. Those people in Kiev, that they came in there. NATO being NATO caused a little bit of this, but Putin made a move. It's time to end it all. You never surround your enemies on all sides. He wants an off-ramp. He's lost 1 million people. It's time to get away from this. You've sent your message. Zelensky, you stayed strong. Now let's just get this thing done and move on.
And can you imagine if that does happen within, I don't know, the next few weeks or months, that this war comes to an end? I don't know how anyone can not understand how important it was for Trump to win this election. Because can you imagine Kamala? If she had won, can you imagine the shitstorm that we would still all be facing? I can't even bear to think about it, because it's a blessing to the world that the election went the way that it did, because of all the changes that we're already seeing and feeling. I mean, thinking of Kamala as president it's unthinkable. Like, it is unthinkable. Just so grateful that she did not win.
That's why she's thinking about being governor.
Oh God. As if, well, I can she do worse than Gavin? I don't know.
I don't know if you can do worse than Gavin. But hey, hold her beer.
Yeah, we just got to wait for it. All right. Marjorie Taylor Greene was stopped in the halls of the Capitol yesterday by a reporter who wanted to ask her about the J6 pardon, because this is all anybody wants to talk about from the mainstream media is the J6 pardon. And Marjorie Taylor Greene was having none of it. This conversation, this pestering by the reporter went on for almost 4 minutes, I think. So this is just a piece of it, but you will see MTG just not taking it, and it's kind of awesome.
Are there any tours or any meetings here? Is this all you really talking about, is the J6ers that have been pardoned? Yeah. Okay. Are you going to talk about the Biden family that got pardoned? No? I haven't. Oh, okay. What about the rapers and killers and murderers that Joe Biden pardoned? There are tons of them. Is that a focus at all? Well, I'm asking about J6. I know that's what you're asking. I know that's what you're asking about, and I'm not doing this. This insane place up here and all of y'all's obsession with January 6th is absurd. Everybody outside of here is sick and fucking tired of it. I'm serious. And so Joe Biden pardons all these murderers and rapists and disgusting people, and then everybody up here has got their panties in a wad because J6ers got pardoned. Like people that walk through open doors. A lot of them walk through open doors. That's it. But everybody here is like, J6. Seriously. But you've been so outspoken this year. Yes, I have. And they're pardoned. And thank God, I hope they go live their lives and can reassemble something back together, because they have suffered enough. Go do a story on all the Antifa BLM people that never served time. Over 95% of them, seriously. Think about that. And go do a story on these cities that BLM burned to the ground and they never built back. They raised all that money on ActBlue and they never built those communities back.
I love that.
You know,
she was like, enough.
It's funny. I've talked about this last couple days. If January 6th got traction, I could see why you would still do it. But it doesn't have any traction. You continue to throw this thing against the wall thinking it is going to stick, and it doesn't stick. Most people say the same thing. If you attacked a cop, if you broke into areas, if you did horrific things in people's offices, if you did something that would have got you in trouble anywhere else, you know what? You should pay for it. If you wandered through, you should have got a fine, a ticket, and we could have moved on with our friggin' lives.
Yes. Yes. And more people in Congress need to, and I think they are. I mean, I think Republicans by and large are not putting up with these kinds of reporter questions anymore. They've had it. No. And most of them are starting to react in a similar way. Maybe not quite as gritty as Marjorie Taylor Greene did, but they are. I mean, you're seeing it more and more. And that's why the media is losing more and more credibility every single day. And it's why, as Elon says, we're all the media now. And that was a perfect example of why. I hate to do this to everybody, but I had to see it, so you have to see it. There is a new song, a singer named Molly Gawler.
Yeah.
She has released a new song called BIPOC, which, if you do not know, stands for Black, Indigenous, and People of Color. And you're going to hear
BIPOC's cousin.
No. So I regret to inform you that you're going to hear some of it. If it becomes unbearable, I'll stop it midway. But here, for your listening pleasure, is the song BIPOC.
Black and Indigenous, people of color. Black and Indigenous, people of color. Lesbian, gay, bi, transgender, and queer. Lesbian, gay, bi, transgender, and queer. Asian American Pacific.
It's building up to the chorus,
Islander,
man. It's building up.
Asian American Pacific Islander. Latino, Hispanic, Romani, and Creole. Latino, Hispanic, Romani, and Creole. We all have a place in this world.
You know, it'd be great if the minute she finished, a bear would just go.
You guys, why is the left the way they are?
The purple, the gray, the orange. Oh my God, who loves porn?
They're just so weird. And here is another example. So there, I guess this woman does this. I don't know if it's TikTok or whatever her social media platform is, but there's a woman who says what's on her mind, but she also creates dances to what she's saying. I don't know why, but in this video, and I'm not going to play the whole thing because it was like almost 5 whole minutes. The point of this video is that she wanted to expose Donald Trump, Jeff Bezos, and Elon Musk for having daddy issues. Okay. So you're only going to see what she says about Donald Trump, because otherwise it would just play way too long, and you'll definitely get the idea pretty quickly of how psycho this is. Here is interpretive dance lady talking about Trump's daddy issues.
Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Donnie Trump all have in common daddy trauma. Uh-oh. America's daddies have daddy issues. I just want you to love me, daddy. Oh. Yeah, relatable content. Donnie's daddy was a manipulative businessman who was brutal not only in the boardroom, but also to his sons.
It goes on and on and on.
I can't believe that the left didn't win.
Right? It's such a mystery. Whatever honestly, could be the reason.
What do you think is going to, because the queer songstress, because you know what, people, if you've never done this, whatever the video is, it's nothing compared to the comments. The comments are the greatest things. You go read the comments.
Yes.
It is the greatest thing ever. And so I go on to some of these things, like Harry Sisson, who says crazy stuff all the time, the kid who's a super dem. But the queer lady, I went on there and I'm thinking to myself, you have to stop the comments. I'm hurting for you, right? Because it is so bad. This lady, did she think she's going to put that out? People go like, man, I didn't think of it that way. But now that Trump daddy.
It's just so bizarre.
Him. Trump's daddy didn't love him.
I mean, she's earnest. I guess we can give her that. But
there you go.
Yeah,
she's
these
fun. I'm
people
sure.
Are psycho. They're absolutely psycho. All right, it is time for some My Pillow talks. We have some really good ones for you today. So first, you know how in cartoons anytime that they would show a dog snoring, it would be like this cartoon sound of a dog snore, like a sound that doesn't exist in the physical world, but
yes.
It turns out it actually does. And here is a dog doing a cartoon dog snore. The sweetest.
Oh, very comfy.
You gotta love him. Do you have a dog?
I do. I have two.
Oh, okay, good. I wanted to make sure you were a dog person because otherwise I
am
don't
a
know
dog.
if we
We
could
have two little dogs and we have a cat. And then I have my exotic pets. But
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, I've got tons of the lizards, the ginormous lizards.
Oh, you've got giant lizards?
Yeah.
Like a bunch of them?
Yeah.
Wait,
Like
I need to know about how many do you have?
Like 7-footers.
Wait a minute. You have multiple people-sized lizards?
Yeah, like eat bunny rabbits kind of things.
Like you have to go buy bunny rabbits for them to eat?
No, we buy we go to the store and a lot of times you go and you ask the butchers and stuff, hey, all that stuff you don't use, can we buy it all? Because they love that stuff. And if there's a squirrel that runs by and they see one, they'll go for it. But realistically,
oh my God. I did not know that about you.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm an exotic animal person.
I mean, listen, I love all the I want to pet everything all the time. But having giant lizards, I don't know, man. I don't know if I could do that. I also have a very strict fur policy. So I prefer animals that have the fur.
Yeah, that's understandable. Like here, I mean, I'm all we brought was our dog, and we got a cat. Santa brought a cat for Christmas for my daughter because Santa hates us.
All right, we've got more. Daisy and I love the voiceover. There's a voiceover guy called Rockstar, and we've got a clip from him. But first of all, I don't know who's doing this voiceover, but I'm a person who loves monkeys. I just find them hilarious. And there's this monkey who's getting voiceover treatment, which is just perfect.
He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for meeting me on such short notice. Really appreciate it. Jerry's been on my back all day. Come monkey around. Come on, dude, I'm literally a monkey. Say, Jerry, you're sneaking like that, I'm telling you. He's got cameras all over these roads. Jerry, no, I probably shouldn't have taken all that pre-workout today. No, I don't even work out. Is that all you got? You holding out on me? Jerry, you never tell me.
That's awesome.
I love when people do voiceovers, but nobody does it like Rockstar. Rockstar is the bomb, and here's a little Rockstar montage.
Be reading with your left eye because your hair is all in your right eye. Let me move this out the way for you. See, that's better, right? Now you can see better, right? Right? Love you. Oh, that's how you feel? Well, let me wipe you off of my face then. Shoot. I just pooped in the kitchen, bro. We gotta go. Excuse me, lady. You see my daddy? You know what? You look suspect. Uh-oh. Stranger danger. Stranger danger. Oh, stranger danger. Oh, she trying to kidnap me. Stranger danger, y'all. Where my daddy at? Oh, stranger danger. Lady trying to kidnap me, y'all. Man, I'm in this damn bookstore. Daddy! Run, little girl. Stranger danger. Man, what's this? A Super Barnes and Noble? Man, it's a big old bookstore. Excuse me, lady. Oh, there you go.
Just
awesome.
love his stuff so much. And then lastly for today, because yesterday, yesterday, Daisy and I played a clip from Scott Jennings, who was talking about what executive orders he would enact if he were president. He was talking about
Lonely Scott.
He was saying, like, if you're a person who wears pajamas on a plane, immediate jail, like straight to jail. So he had just a list of hilarious executive orders. And this guy also, I don't know who he is, but he's a funny guy who wants to talk about what he would do as. What would you add?
Oh my God. The road fry thing was, I think about it too. God, that drives me crazy. It's
God, right?
Put it
it's
in
so
a different
hard.
bag, throw it in my trunk. I'm going to drive by, you throw it in my trunk, I'm taking off, because otherwise I'm going to eat it and be pissed off. And then I'm going to eat my wife's on the way there. And the kids are going to wonder why they don't have any fries. So that would have been a good one. What would I add? My God. Well, I mean, I'm a freedom guy. So, I would allow us to say some bad words on the radio and stuff, because I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
we're grown ass people. And we enough, right? Like just enough. If you don't want to listen, don't listen. But enough of the stuff where that can happen. And stretch pants. I'll be honest. I'm a huge fan of yoga pants, but there's a difference when it goes from yoga pants to stretch pants. If you know what I mean.
Tell me the difference. I don't.
Well, yoga pants. We know who you ladies are. How you doing? Stretch pants are like, oh. You haven't done yoga.
So really, it's not about the pant, but who's wearing it.
Yes, and they should be stopped.
Have you
All
ever
of us.
gotten a fine for saying the bad words on the air?
No. Did you guys ever get in trouble with it?
I mean, I got dumped. You know how like there's the dump button if there's like the 7-second delay. And so if you say something that's bad, you get dumped. And so that happened to me twice. Once because I said monkey balls, which I thought was allowed. Like, I don't think that should be disallowed.
No, I don't think that's bad.
And then the other one, I was quoting somebody on Twitter that was talking about sucking off of the taxpayer tit or something like that. And I quoted him, but because I said the T word, apparently I got dumped for that too. So it happened to me twice.
Teat. Say the teat. You know what I would do? Here's something I would absolutely do. 5-year moratorium on anything you did in the past that you posted or said online or argument you had on a video game. It cannot count against you in any way, shape, or form. If you were 14 and in the middle of Call of Duty, you called your buddy the F gay word, if you will. We're moving on with our lives. You can't be in trouble for that. You don't have to go to some sort of special therapy for that. We just move on and act as it didn't happen.
I love it. That's a good one. We do have a couple of thank yous to dole out. One from yesterday from Wanda, who said, thrilled that Preborn is a new sponsor. I've donated to them for several years and they do such great work. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much to Wanda for that. And thank you to Kimberly Donaldson, who says, prayers for Daisy and husband. Incredible time in DC at the inauguration, though, and watched from our hotel. Coming back to ATL, not so much. 3 planes, 2 airports, an engine problem, a ground stop, a psychotic Uber driver, and a partridge in a pear tree. Yikes. That sounds like a time was had.
Indeed. Sounds busy.
Robert Clark says Pete Hegseth was a soldier who drank alcohol. Please, are you serious? Right? Like, this is so stupid. These accusations are so dumb. Robin Solomon Dye says, listen to the 2023 podcast, Who Killed JFK by Rob Reiner and Soledad O'Brien. They lay it all out. It was Alan Dulles, head of CIA and mob, Sam Giancana. I have not seen that or heard or listened to it, but it sounds pretty interesting. Although we won't need to, because we're going to see the truth very soon. Yeah. Barbara Trammell says, regarding banking, I use Old Glory Bank. Customer service in America. Online banking is perfect. 10 out of 10 recommend. Good to know. Aaron Powers says, for the love of God, Mock, how many times do we have to tell you that just because you saw it does not mean we need to? Take my money. Sorry. Jose Rodriguez says, morning from Texas. I've said this before and we'll say it again and again. DJT is not perfect, but he's perfect for the job. Mock, I'm going to hear that tune in my head all day. Thanks a lot. Just take my money. Kristen H says, love to see Mock and Chad. Prayers for Daisy's husband. I miss her, but Chad is just as pretty. Thank you for covering the stories we want to hear.
I'm a handsome woman.
And then Andrea Viola says, as an ex-zookeeper, monkeys are pickpockets and mean.
They're
I'm
horrible.
sure that's true for some monkeys.
I will tell you this. Because being like for a long time, that's what I did. I collected. I worked with big exotic people. I mean, I was joking. We were just talking earlier. I get you anything. It's the upkeep, by the way. I always tell everybody that I can get you a tiger, but the upkeep, man, that's a few $100 a day. Most people don't have that kind of change. Monkeys are the worst. My buddy had a couple monkeys. He's like, at first it was neat, and he's like, now what do I have? I goes, I got 2 needy drunk midgets who want to fight all the time.
Really? But doesn't it depend on the kind of monkey? Like, aren't there some good ones?
Well, I'm sure there's some good ones to look, but never to own.
Okay. All right. That's fair. What do you know about owning wallabies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My buddy, my buddy Kristen has a couple of them.
How hard is that?
No, it's not hard at all.
Really?
Yeah. No, they're great.
Because I've been trying to convince Daisy to get one.
No, we were gonna, if we'd stayed in Arizona, we were gonna get one, but now that we're out here and because I'm moving away from some of my reptiles now, I told my wife, she's like, you can get one big thing. And I said, because I was thinking about getting a bitterong, which is like a bear cat, and they smell like popcorn.
Oh my God, I love that.
But I said, the first thing we're going to get is because once we move from here, we're going to, I said, I'm probably going to get a couple capybaras, which are giant guinea pigs.
I don't like, they're not soft though. Because I pet them in Arizona and they're not soft.
But I said, I'm probably going to go and get maybe a bitterong or something like that. And then I said, I've always wanted snarfles. That's what I call my made up porcupine.
You should get a wallaby. They're so soft and sweet.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
That's so cool that you have all the animals. I love it. Thank you so much for hosting with me today in Daisy's absence. I really appreciate it. I know everybody enjoys it as well. Next week, we think is going to be a normal week. We're hoping. It just depends on whether Daisy's husband can drive on Monday. So if he can't, we'll let you know on our social media platforms if it's going to be a later start time. But hopefully he'll be able to drive and the world will be normal and we'll have a regular start time of 8 a.m. on Monday, back with Daisy. But again, thank you so much, Chad. Really appreciate you being here.
I love being here. And thank you guys so much. You're always nice to me. I appreciate it.
Everybody have a great weekend, and we will see you on Monday. Bye.
Hello, beautiful people. This is the Chicks on the Right's Indian correspondent. Thank you for watching or listening. Be very sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on all of their delicious content. Okay, thank you. Come again.